upper gastrointestinal study. So this is what we're doing. So this is considered a fluoroscopy study. So it is a moving or non-stagnant or dynamic image, right? So not a typical x-ray where we just shoot and leave. So hypothetically, this exam would be done under fluoro. This patient would have already been asked history as of when's the last time you've eaten or drank anything, did you do your prep, and then we're gonna have them drink either barium or gastrographin or some kind of water-soluble contrast depending on the actual patient. So they have already drank this, we've already checked to make sure she's in PO, we already asked her if she had any surgery, the doctor came in, we brought the fluoro tower over, he moved her wherever you wanted her to be, we looked at her under live x-ray, and he leaves. Now we're here. These are called after films, post films, overhead films, all exchangeable. You might hear them in clinic. After films, overhead, post films. So the fluoro is done, and now we are just going to take straight x-ray of her. Somebody asked about shielding for this one. If you were doing this under fluoro, you would never shield because remember, fluoro is upside down. So the beam is in the bottom. So if you shield the thyroid for this, you're literally making the x-ray stick in the patient. It won't go through the thyroid, so it's just stuck. So as far as your comp goes, you wouldn't be shielding. Post films, you technically could shield the thyroid if you wanted to. But fluoro, and this could be done under fluoro, you cannot shield anything. So no shielding when you comp for this one. So all of that has been done, the doctor left, and now we're gonna get her into position. So she's already in a gown, she's full of barium, she's ready to go. So our IR size for all of these is gonna be a 14 by 17. So have it in here, 14 by 17. But your actual collimation is 11 by 14. So what does that mean? We're gonna modify this. It's already modified from before. So 11 by 14, so it's gonna look kind of skinny like this, as if you're messing up your KUV or something. So 11 by 14. 11 by 14. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is Mary. And your center for this one, like I said, your bond trigger is gonna tell you about 3 or 4 different centers or CRs for this one, depending on the body habitus. Why? Because for this exam, we're looking at the stomach, and the stomach changes depending on your body habitus. If you're very tall and very thin or asthenic, your stomach is more of a J. And this is real. When you image these people, when you actually have contrast in the stomach, you'll be able to see it. If you're more average, it looks less like a J and almost more like a C. If you're wider or hypersthenic, your stomach goes horizontal. So instead of going like this, it goes more like this.
That makes sense.
Okay? So it changes depending on your body habitus. So that's why there's different CRs. For our comp purpose, everyone is going to be an asthenic person. I'm sorry, asthenic person. I think is what it's listed at.
Yeah, asthenic.
Asthenic, yes, which is L1. So how do we find L1? What do you think the closest landmark is to that? L1. What's close?
Well, if your iliac crest is L4, wouldn't it be up about 3-4 inches?
Good. So that's pretty close. So we have one that's a little closer, and it's called the inferior rib margin. So if you feel laterally, it's the last rib that you can actually feel on the patient. So this is about the level of L2 or L3 when you feel this. So this is going to be our landmark for these. So you're going to find the inferior rib margin. If that is L2 or L3, you're just going to go up about 1 inch. Centering for this one, side to side. It's going to be noted a little different on every projection, but you always want to remember that we are imaging the stomach. So whether it says midway between the MSP and the left border of the body, that's the side of the stomach. Or it might say 1.5 inches off the spine to the upside of the left lateral border. Again, still in the stomach region. Or it might say 2 inches to the left of the spine, closest to the side of the stomach. We're always concerned about this area right here. So before you walk out of the room and you expose, make sure you are on this side of the body. Most important thing. Make sure you're actually imaging the stomach. All right, so we're married here. So what am I gonna look for first? L3. So I can feel it pretty easy on her. L2, L3. This is her inferior rib margin if I was squared up here. I'm gonna go up just a little, and I wanna be about midway between this, which is the MSB or the spine, and then the left lateral border of the body.
So do you guys want to feel and see if you can actually feel her inferior rib margin? Does that make sense?